We're live.
Hi, we're
Hi,
back.
everybody.
Hi. We're on this is a very special bonus episode of CNC and Coffee. Could also have been CNC and Conversation because
Yeah,
we talk there too.
CNC and fundraiser.
CNC and decaf coffee because
Yeah,
I'm not having any more caffeine today.
yeah.
I don't sleep as it is.
This is my first. This is my first caffeine
Oh,
of the
you're
day.
you're going for caffeine. Wow. You're brave. You're very brave. I did that. We have a special guest we should introduce. Yeah, I'm going to let you
Yeah.
introduce her.
Yeah. Well, she's vice principal of the David G. Burnet Elementary School in Dallas, Texas. It's my mom, Shirley Dolph.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Hello.
And I'm so glad to
Shirley.
be on this show. I really appreciate these girls for helping us out, striving to have these children exposed to the arts, which is, it was very meaningful in our family.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and that's why we have you on today. We're doing this special episode to raise money to send these kids to see In the Heights, which is, I got to see a special screening yesterday. Like we said, we talked about it earlier this morning, and it's wonderful. It's amazing. And, but I wanted to bring my mom on just to talk a little bit about the kids and the dance program that they were a part of. And then also, yeah, let's talk about us. Let's talk about me when I was a kid.
Tell us all the secrets.
Oh my gosh!
But first, tell us about the kids. Let's start
I
there.
will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, let's talk
Okay,
about
our kids at our school are like 98% socioeconomic students, and so they don't have much of an opportunity to experience the arts, music, theater, as other children do in other neighborhoods that are more well off. And so we were very fortunate. We were very blessed because our counselor saw this grant that was available for anybody that applied for to have Texas Ballet Theater come give some classes. But since we were in the pandemic, it was going to be virtual. So whatever, we'll take it. So she applied and she got the grant. So we had a session of 9 weeks of ballet for one group of 40 students, and then another group 40 students, and then their lives just changed, and we had more boys in the class than girls. And
Wow.
and some
Awesome.
of these boys have like natural talent. I've been watching ballet classes for years.
40
I
years.
I can see good dancers. It's great to dance, but you can see the students that have like natural potential. And it was just breaking my heart. I said, I wish that we could just have these students go to a ballet studio and then develop these natural skills that they have. But we'll see what comes of it. We had an organization, Brown Girls Dance, too, that donated,
Brown girls do ballet.
yeah, do ballet, and they donated ballet shoes. And Claudia sent shoes. I think dancers just took them off their feet. I said, I want to donate these shoes because these kids don't have shoes. They didn't even know what ballet shoes look like. And so they finished their 9 weeks, and then another group for another 9 weeks. And at least, if they don't pursue, they can't, they'll have those shoes to always remember that they did take ballet, and they know what ballet is and what a discipline it is, how really challenging it is. It's not for those who just want to just goof off. It's a discipline that's very important, and it really gives them life skills to be dedicated, to be on time, to dress the part, and to give your full attention and full focus to the teachers. So this has been really eye-opening for them, opened up windows for them, and appreciate that the girls want to expose them to In the Heights. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And I could keep talking on and on and on, but
Well, I think it's really cool too because at one point Stephanie was like, my sister Stephanie, who'll be on in a few moments, texted me. She was like, I wonder if this is even age appropriate for kids. And I saw, when I got to see it, I was blown away because there are kids dancing in it throughout the entire movie. So I think it's just going to be great for them to like see themselves on the big screen doing what they love. Like
Yeah,
what
that
the
to me-
potential is.
To me, that's one of the biggest things about this movie that's going to be so great for these kids is seeing people that look like them, that they haven't had the opportunity to see on screen, dancing and singing and doing all this. I mean, we've had Hairspray, we've had, there's all these other movie musicals, and none of them represent the Latinx population like this is going to represent. And for kids to be able to sit there and see those people up on screen, I think is going to be life-changing for them. Just life-changing. And just like that you were able to give them the opportunity to take ballet, which is something that most of them probably would never have had a chance to do that. The opportunity for that. It's just so important, and it just so feeds your soul. And I know that because I was a kid. That that's what it did for me. It just it's how I discovered my life's passion.
So you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Studio CNC and donate. And if you want to donate more, because I did have a text come in this morning that said, you can only donate a maximum of $25 on this site. You can also Venmo me directly. My name, my handle that you see up on the screen is my, can they see that on there? No. I don't think
At
they
Claudia
can.
Dolph?
Yeah.
At Claudia Dolph.
At
Yeah,
Claudia
down at the
Dolph.
bottom.
Yeah, on the
At
screen.
Claudia /Dolph. That's my
Oh.
Venmo account. So you can also Venmo me.
And I promise she will put it toward the kids.
It's going straight. I've had 2 donations sent that way, and it's straight to, in my little, I have like 5 bank accounts. I don't know why Bank of America gave me like 5 bank accounts, but anyways, one of them is dedicated to this project, and that's where everything is going. So yeah, so you can find me on Venmo or buymeacoffee.com/Studio CNC.
And
Now,
guess what? You could always buy me a coffee. You could go in twice if you want to donate more.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Well, let me tell you a funny story, because I was trying to motivate all the students. I talked to each of the 6th grade classes, 4th grade classes, to try to recruit students to the ballet, because, it was just like, who wants to do it? You got to get permission from your parents. And I was telling the boys, I said, that ballet makes you stronger and more agile, so you can play soccer. Soccer is big around here. And they said,
yeah.
really? I said, oh, yeah. And then if you want to play football and make you really strong, there was a football player, Herschel Walker, that took ballet at Ballet Dallas. And he got better because of that. Sign me up. We're all signed up. And they say, right, it's going to make me a better soccer player. Oh, yeah, you bet. Because it really will. It really will. The reflexes are going to be quicker. They're going to be stronger. And then, there's another organization that I asked Victoria to tell me what the organization was that donated like $100. And so I said, what can I spend it on that would be most effective for the student? I said, well, they're ballet pictures. There are no ballet pictures anywhere. So I went and got...
It's Simply Latin Designs.
Simply Latin. Okay, say it again so everybody can hear.
Simply Latin Designs out of Atlanta, Georgia. They're great.
And thank you, because now I've got ballet posters of all the positions in all the halls. And when the kids are walking down the halls, they're posing, doing all these positions. And
I love that.
I just love that. Yes. So now we've got, more exposure to the arts. And thanks to all the organizations that have been helping, that have realized, these kids need that too. They deserve that. So
yeah,
I will say this as well about the movie, and this isn't spoiling anything. All types of dance is represented in this movie. All types. They cover everything from flamenco to ballet. I mean, they got everything in there. And I think that's going to be great, too, so they can see, there's not just this one path. Right. There's all of these other things that we can do. So go to buymeacoffee.com/Studio CNC.
And I wish they would have been able to hear, I don't know if y'all heard, but NPR had Rita Moreno on today.
Yes, yeah.
And I was going, oh my gosh, if these kids could just hear her inspiring story, it's just amazing. So, more and more exposure, they're going to say, hey, I can do this. If she can do that, I can do this. And it's so much fun. Look at what In the Heights is going to do for them. I just can't wait.
It is. It's as Claudia mentioned on our show this morning. I've gotten the opportunity to do that show twice now, In the Heights. And when younger kids of color, any color, come to see the show, they're always inspired by that show. Part of it's because it's representing people who are struggling and trying to, just make a living and trying to support each other, and it's told so well, as Claudia mentioned, like it's told so well through dance and music that it just brings them in, it sucks them in. It's and this is not just for young people of color. It is a show that really reaches across the aisles to everybody, because anybody can be inspired. Just like every type of dance is in this movie. The characters really run the gamut, so many
Yes.
kids, even though they were, even the white kids were, talk about the abuela in the show, because it's just like my abuela, she just does different things, it's a different culturally different. But there's the parents, there's the young kids, there's the kids trying to go to college, there's the kid, it's just there's people trying to get out of that area. There's so it really does speak to a lot of people, and I think that's one of the really beautiful things about that show and what Lin-Manuel did. And I'm just thrilled that it's a movie. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm very
we're
excited.
going on Thursday. We're going on Thursday because we want to support the opening weekend, and everybody else. There is a movement, Latinx Gold Open. It's this organization, the Gold. I forget. I'm gonna screw it up, but it's an AAIP organization, Gold, in conjunction with API. Sorry. In conjunction with NALIP, which is the Latino organization, they pushed for Crazy Rich Asians to have a strong box office, a strong opening box office weekend. So they're doing that for In the Heights as well. So you can go on Twitter, #Latinx Gold Open, and see all the organizations and all the people that are donating tickets to get people who can't generally afford it, like these kids, or don't have the opportunities, get them in the theaters this weekend so they can keep making. I mean, it's just a beautiful movie, and also the casting is just so well done. It looks like real people. It's gonna look like the people that they see around them, like their families and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just thrilled, and it's well done. It's so well done. Like, I don't want to poo-poo on anybody, but I was hoping that La La Land would have been I love movie musicals. I love musicals. Hoping that La La Land, and it just missed the mark. And this is just like, the acting is stunning, the dancing is stunning, the singing is stunning. Like, it's beautifully shot, and I could go on and on. So I can't wait for them to come.
Anthony Ramos, it was an interview in Variety, I think it was. Anthony Ramos said it. He said, "This is our Crazy Rich Asians."
Absolutely.
And I think it's true. I think it could really be that successful, but we all have to get out there and support it.
Crissy, why haven't you played Daniela?
I don't know. I just kind of I went immediately with the mom role, and it stuck.
I know.
But also,
I know,
Daniela kind of has to dance more, and
you could totally pull it off. But I was watching it, and I've also thought this when I watched yours, because she was actually in Dallas I keep saying last year.
Yeah, well, we're missing a year, so that it's last year.
2 years ago, she did it in the Heights,
2019.
In Dallas, and I was thinking that too. I was like, because you're funny, and I was like, oh, you should at some point do that, since there's no. I mean, this is not new, but
well, if anybody out there would like me to play Daniela, yeah. If you'd like me to play Daniela, I am available.
You should.
Not right now, not right now, but soon.
So let me get back to the kids. Their last day of school.
Oh, you mean you don't want to talk about me?
I'm sorry.
Please.
I just wanted to say this before I forget. Their last day is June 18th, and the movie will be June 19th.
They're going to
this
see
is
it on
going to
June
be a
19th.
great gift to them. These sixth graders, they were supposed to actually be in middle school, but because we had the tornado,
it happened during the show. That tornado happened the night Stephanie and I
closing night.
Show.
Closing night. See, we're back to me.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, everybody got touched by that tornado. It was just awful. So the middle school had to downsize, so we kept the sixth graders this year. So now they're going to graduate to middle school and this will be a great treat for them to go see in the Heights and right before they go to middle school. And the middle school is offering dance classes. So they already came and spoke to the kids, and whoever wants to. But of course, they want to do everything. They want to do soccer. They want to do that. They want to do this. But I think the light has been lit in their little hearts for dance. So.
Well, and I want to bring that to go back to that just a little bit too, because I did forget about that. But yeah, your school was destroyed by that tornado. It was one of the things that was like right in the path of it. And I mean, you guys were like in a warehouse or something?
No, they had us in like a sports arena, place, and there were all the schools that had been affected were all in there, just. No desks, no nothing, just sitting in the hallway, sitting on the floors, on the bleachers, trying to do school. And the teachers brought their charts and their markers, carrying everything around. It was unreal, really. It was surreal.
And then the pandemic happened.
Yes.
Right. I was going to say it was only a few months later that the pandemic struck. So I mean, they can't catch a break, these kids.
Right.
So let's give them a treat, please.
So
you guys.
buymeacoffee.com/Studio CNC.
Yeah.
Or find us on Venmo. Like whatever it takes, whatever is easiest for you. Yeah. I mean, it's
any amount.
It's a treat.
Any amount you can give. We want to be able to treat these kids to something so special, and it's going to be a marker for their generation. I think this movie. I think it's going to be a classic, an instant classic for them, and for us. But yeah, let's give them a special treat. They've had a lot. They've had to endure a lot. They lost their school. They lost their school. Yet they still continued to go to school until the pandemic shut it down. So in case you missed that. They were sitting in hallways. They were not even going to proper classrooms, and they still went, and we should really treat them well for that and reward them and show them that people care.
Yes, thank you.
Mom, why did you put me in dance?
Well, you always liked to dance around when you were little. And so I was trying to find, we lived in Oak Cliff. And I didn't know anything about ballet, any dance. So I had to start.
Is really cool now, but it was the ghetto when we lived there.
So I was trying to. I learned along with them, all the different things that go with ballet. So we put her in this little school that I really didn't like, because it was just like it wasn't like serious. It was
they call it a Dolly Dingle school.
Yeah, one of those. And so somebody at our church recommended this lady that taught private lessons in our home, and it was sacred dance. I said, yes, I'm going to try that. So they started going there, and Claudia always had, she's a natural. Her dance just made me so happy. I mean, just watching her dance, because I never could have done that. But watching her dance all over the place, sacred dance and whatever, she really blessed my heart. And so she stayed in there, and finally somebody at that studio said, you know what, your girls really have talent. At that time, Stephanie was in there too, in Victoria. She was 2 years old. Her first performance was at that studio.
Yeah.
They said, you need to go to a formal ballet school, and they recommended Madame Krasovska School of Ballet. And boy, talk about shock. When I first met her, it was just like, oh no, darling. No, she's too young. But she took Claudia, and later on she took Stephanie, and then she took Victoria. And at that point, we weren't doing very well with our finances. And at one point, it came to the point where we had to cut everything out. And I went and talked to Madame, and I told her, Madame, we're just going to have to stop. We just don't have the money anymore. And she stopped me right there, and she said, oh no, darling, they will get scholarship. So they started going on scholarship, and that door stayed open. Of all the other doors that closed, she kept that door open, and they were dancing for the rest of their lives after that.
Yeah.
I mean, all the kinds of venues.
Let me tell you a little bit about Madame Natalie Krasovska. She's a Russian lady, obviously. Prima ballerina who danced with the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. She was 69 from the day I met her until the day she died. Always had lipstick on her teeth. Always had her hair like shellacked in a bun, like old school style. Could still develop past 90 degrees, even in her old age.
Wow.
We sort of butted heads at some points though, because I would slouch a lot, and she would like come and tie my leotard together to hold my back up, and it would just like
she would pinch her back,
irritate me.
Wow.
But then Saturday morning she would always offer me vodka. So it's a Russian thing to do. Oi, darling.
Yeah. How old were you then?
Like 12 or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I didn't take it, Mom.
I know.
But there was one point where
but she
remember when she got
as
robbed?
a courtesy, because that's what she
That's
did.
her tradition. Yeah.
Every party she had that, and I think she would get offended if you didn't take it. I never took it, but she still had me as a friend.
But she got robbed at one point or whatever.
Oh.
Remember?
Yes.
She got robbed and
Did they steal the vodka?
No, she was more worried that they took her Polish sausage. They interviewed her on the news, and she was like, he was choking me, and they took her Polish sausage. I was like,
Wow.
But
She sounds like a character.
Yeah, Madame was a very, very professional lady. Even if there was one student coming, she would dress out with her leotard and her skirt and her shoes, and she'd do the whole class. Even if it was just one student, she gave her all for every single class. Wow. And I think that taught the girls, you do this, you do it full out. You don't do.
There's no marking.
Don't mark. Do it the right way from the start. So. And
That's
she didn't believe in holidays either. She wouldn't let. I mean, you ballet first, and then you go to birthday party or go do your Easter or whatever. Sure. She did not believe in taking off from ballet at all.
Wow. Well, it made it obviously made an impression. But I'm sure that professionalism stuck with you. I mean, you are, as long as I've known you, you're a professional when we work together. Not everybody gets that sort of training that we have had, where you have to stay professional. I mean, sure, sometimes I crack up on stage and I shouldn't, but I'm always on time to rehearsal. I'm always, but yeah, it's those things that stick with you, and that's what I think. Any kind of arts, whether it's, ballet is very, very, I know, very strict and very traditional. But anything you do in the arts, you have to be dedicated to a certain amount, to a certain point, or you don't really, you don't improve and you don't get to really work much. So it's such an important base for life, for life.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, regardless if you become a professional dancer or not, like when I teach now, because I know a lot of kids, especially like my sister Victoria's studio, a lot of those kids are like solely focused on becoming a professional dancer, but that doesn't always happen. Right. But you can use this discipline throughout your life, and I've gotten jobs that weren't related, like commercial jobs and music videos. That weren't necessarily because of ballet. Well, it was because it wasn't calling for ballet, but it was because of that, because I had that extra skill or whatever.
Right.
So.
And so, Crissy, you went the theater route.
I was always theater. I voice and acting, singing and acting for the most part. I took some dance classes, but I'm not as gifted as Claudia. So, but
let me just say this really quickly. I am not a naturally gifted dancer. I worked very, very hard.
Right.
Stephanie and Victoria had much more natural talent.
Well, I feel that way about myself as a singer, by the way. I do not feel like I was a naturally gifted singer. I just loved it so much, and I could, pretty much carry a tune. But I think if you listen to early recordings, you might debate that. But it's I had the passion for it. So once I was able to get some training, then you go leaps and bounds with it. Once you have somebody who's believing in you and saying you can do this. That's why I think this is so important, because when you do have people telling you you could do that too, then it changes your perspective. It really changes your perspective, and I think really offers you that, that push you might need to go, okay, maybe I can do this, and work hard at it, So.
Yeah, absolutely. So go to buymeacoffee.com/studio CNC and donate $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, whatever you want. I should also say my mom is very musical. My mom plays the clarinet, and you have played in orchestras and.
Really?
Yes. I still have my clarinet.
Do you still play?
Yes, once in a while. I haven't had time now, but now that I'm going to retire, I'll have more time.
She's finally retiring.
For real.
For real this time, yeah.
She was supposed to retire last year, and then it got postponed because of a global pandemic.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave the school in a terrible time that everybody was struggling with. So I stayed another year, and it was a very difficult year, but I learned a lot, and everybody's learning a lot. So I thank God that I was able to stay another year and be part of this growing process. I mean, it was a growing process. I never imagined any year in education would be like this at all.
I can imagine. All of my teacher friends sort of feel that way, that, it was so challenging, but also rewarding in many ways for some of them.
Mm-hmm.
They felt almost they got a little closer to students in some ways.
That is
but I
very
think it depends
true.
on the level. Yeah.
It's very true. We had more parental communication than we've ever had. And in spite of the pandemic, I'm bragging about my school all the time because our goal for the state is 97% attendance, perfect attendance, and we've always struggled to get there just because, a lot of kids get sick, especially the lower school. But this year at this time, we have like 98% attendance.
Wow.
And that means that communication with the teacher and the parent, and make sure that you connect. Yes, go ahead. Hey, I don't see you. Let me see your face. Turn your camera on. It's just like constant back and forth. So in a way, it was a good experience to be able to communicate with the parents. And parents learn the technology. We're still learning the technology.
Sure.
And all these different platforms. There's just a vast of resources now. Yeah. And we just need all the training because everything new has more training. So everybody's learning. It's a learning curve like no other.
Yeah, sure. Now, were all the kids able to get a hold of, like computers, laptops, or iPads, whatever you guys were using? Did everybody have access to those things, or did the school?
It was a process, but yes, there was a technology in every student's hand. And then if they didn't have internet, we gave them the hotspots. And sometimes if you have 5 children in a household, that one hotspot's not going to do it. So we tried the best we could. And everybody understood that everybody was going through a hard time. So there was a lot of grace given. And our kids worked with us. Our parents worked with us. The teachers worked so hard. And we have a great bunch of teachers. They all should be teachers of the year for the whole nation because they worked really, really hard, gave their all, really.
Wow.
And we weren't supposed, the pandemic kept us away physically, but they would go drop off supplies at their doorsteps, food at their doorsteps from their own pockets,
Wow.
If they knew something was going on. And there was so much going on. I can't even start with the stories. It was just heartbreaking what some of these families were going through.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Some of them, they couldn't pay their rent, so they moved in with another family. So they were up to maybe 3 families. And if somebody had the COVID, then everybody got the COVID. It was just, and so some of them decided to just leave, go back either to Mexico, Honduras, or wherever, because they couldn't survive. In Dallas at that point. And some of them lost their jobs. They couldn't go work, It was just quite a year.
Wow. Well, let's give him a treat, guys. Let's go to buymeacoffee.com/studio CNC. I don't know if Stephanie's going to be able to make it, but I wanted her to come on and talk a little bit about, dancing and then going into eventually touring with the Radio City Rockettes, and then eventually getting to do it at Radio City Music Hall. Which, did you ever get to see it in New York, Mom?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got to see her in New York, and I went to different places to see her, but yeah. Definitely New York.
Yeah, I saw her in Chicago and Detroit, and then we all were in Florida. We all were in Tampa to see her that one Christmas or whatever. But again, it's like that's another organization that needs to really step up the game as far as bringing in women of color, because if you ever watch the shows, you know, you can see or like go back and watch videos of Stephanie, you know exactly where she is because she's
always
the
find
only
her
brown one.
Yep. For instance, on the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Stephanie. Oh, there she is again. Just moving.
Yeah. The kids are still not in bed, so she can't make it right now. So,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but anyways, yeah, you know, like I think it's a great opportunity to see people like that, you know, like that are in companies like that, because again, something to strive for, and hopefully it becomes a more diverse, more inclusive organization, you know.
And look, I would love if we got to a point where a movie like this isn't such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, how great would that be if it's not such a big deal that you're seeing all these people of color on a screen? You know, it's, you know, baby steps. I know, we'll get there, but it's, but this, you can help, you guys out there, I mean, you can help that happen by, you know, let's send that next generation so that they can get inspired, so that this becomes more normal, that it isn't such a big deal for them to see themselves on a screen, that they see people that look like them. I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal, but it is. So let's help them, you know, change that. Let's help them change that by pushing them into, you know, helping us for the next generation here, because we could really use that. So go to buymeacoffee.com/Studio CNC, please. Please go donate what you can. It only lets you do 25 if you just join us, $25 at a time. If you want to donate more, we will take that. You can either Venmo it to Claudia at Claudia Dolph dash not slash at Claudia Dolph on Venmo, or you can just keep logging back in to Buy Me a Coffee and donate several times. But everything helps. We really want to be able to send these kids. It's the day after they get out of school. They deserve a treat. They deserve a break after the year they've had, the year and a half they've had, starting with the tornado. I mean, come on, tornado and then pandemic. I mean, that's rotten luck. Rotten luck.
And on top of all the other struggles that are happening personally that they deal with day to day, you know, and you know, the
socioeconomically disadvantaged, you know? and
and then these kids are starting to become teenagers. They're in that preteen, you know, or it's
terrible time.
It's crazy.
It's a terrible time. If we can catch them now, you're going to give them something that they can hold on to during this very tough time. I mean, when they're going into middle school, it's a tough time. Yay. Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much.
Richard got to see Crissy. He's from Dallas, and he went back home to visit.
Thank you, Richard.
He got to see Crissy as well.
Yeah.
And it was in the Heights.
Nice to see them there, yeah.
Mom, any final words about me?
Well, I also want to share that, you know, we also were blessed to be able to go to Ballet Dallas and train there for a number of years with Tom Flower. Anna Donovan, she's a gem.
And she's over at Texas Ballet Theater now, which
Patty
is the company
and the people in the office that made it possible for all of you. At one point, all 5 were in the Nutcracker or in some kind of production. And just trying to get them all on point. It was just like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? Oh, let's go pawn our rings. Yeah. Okay, get one pair of shoes there. And so we did that.
To that stage, you go through point shoes, and they are not cheap. You're going through them like on a weekly basis.
But it's been a ride. I went to so many Nutcrackers you wouldn't be able to even count. All kinds of productions. Claudia at one point was doing this jewelry show. I mean, how old were you? Cartier, yeah.
I was modeling for Cartier.
Wow.
And so they perform at the State Fair every year. And Victoria got a job with Ram Dodge doing something.
Oh yeah, that's
Jacob
right.
got to be in the opera as a little boy
Well, and
in the musical.
they both did Cinderella with Phyllis Diller and
Uh-huh.
Georgia Angell.
Yeah.
Wow.
And these opportunities just came up because they were in dance, and so that's so amazing for them and for me because I'd never been exposed to the dance world until I started with them and meeting all these wonderful people. And there's always people that help you along the way, and that's what we want these kids to have, somebody that just help them make that next step, take that next step. I can do this. I can dance. I can play football and I can dance. I can,
Absolutely.
play baseball. The girls can play baseball, volleyball, be on the swim team and still dance or be in theater,
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
just an amazing opportunity. The arts, I think, really make a person whole.
I agree.
It
I
does
agree.
make a person whole.
I wanted to give a shout out to all the people who have already donated.
Yeah.
Liz, thank you. Liz, it looks like you've donated twice. Thank you so much. Sarah, Joe McCaskill, Richard and Dina Malmos, you've already donated. Joe Utzler. There are several anonymous people who have donated. Thank you so much. Joey, Jay bought 5 beers, but I don't know who Jay is. Tess and Tom. Joe
Jay
Utzler
Paul's
donated
another man.
twice as well. So
yeah.
just want to thank you guys for doing that. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is really special. It's very special to us that you are supporting us in this way and supporting these kids, and everybody else who donates. We love you. We thank you. Please,
I'll keep
please,
posting
please
those
consider.
sexy pictures. They'll keep coming. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
Mom, don't
Good.
look.
I don't have any, so.
I know. I looked. I was like, "Where are all your Elvis pictures? They gotta have something." I couldn't find anything.
No. Nope. I don't. Well, they might be on somebody else's page.
I have a lot of my old my dance shots from when I was still auditioning out here, and they always have to be full body and sexy. So
Right.
That's
See,
what you
the
guys
difference
are getting.
is because I'm a singer primarily. You only get this. That's what my pictures are like.
yep.
So it's not as sexy. Not as sexy. So.
Well,
But
I
thank
can
you, Mom.
actually be with the kids when they go to the theater, and I'll take
Yes.
pictures, and I can get permission
Please.
to be able to share them
Oh, good.
because I know they're going to be changed. They really are.
Oh, good. Well, we would love for you to share those if they allow it, and we will share that with our audience. To thank you guys. You can see the light in their eyes.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you guys. Please don't forget buymeacoffee.com
Thanks for saying that, Mom.
Studio CNC. Yes, thank you for joining us. She's 2 hours ahead of us. She's in the future.
And she likes to go to bed super early.
Oh, wow. All
Anything
right.
for the kids. That's fine.
Ah, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And you can share this afterward if you know people who may be inclined to donate. And please share that link if you can. And let's really give them a special
Yeah,
time.
it's going to happen. It's going to happen,
is.
and it's going to change
Yeah.
their lives.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
you guys go out and see
Please,
it too.
yes,
Everybody
go
out and
support
see
the
it.
movie.
Definitely. We're just waiting. We're just waiting for the chance to go. So I wouldn't miss
Good.
this.
No, but yes, all of you out there watching, go see the movie, please. If you can go on opening weekend, please do. I know some places are still not open like we are going to be here in California, but if you can see it, do. Even if you watch it on HBO Max, but we'd prefer you go into a theater. At least
Yeah.
buy a ticket. You don't have to go
Yeah.
into the theater, but buy a ticket. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you all. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep smiling.
Bye,
keep
Shirley.
smiling, Mom.
Love you
Keep smiling.
guys. Bye.